Hello, everyone. A warm welcome to our Women Together Connect. My name is Antoinette, and I'm our host for today and for lots of our times together. It is so good to be back. I see many familiar faces, and I know people are still trickling in. So, a warm welcome wherever you may be. And you can just type in the chat a little hello, where you're coming from, and I'll share a few of those out. And yeah, it's just good to be back together again. Good to see some familiar faces, and there are a few that are still coming in that may be new. So, welcome if you're joining us for the first time. Um, really, we just wanted to keep this going with some sort of, connection. Before the pandemic, we had been doing these once a month online. And so we, in 2024, decided we would try to go back to once a month and see what that feels like. Although I noticed that I definitely missed you all in the last few weeks. And that we have our circles programs happening. So that's been a really lovely way. I know many of us joined with our and I unfortunately could not make her circles, but I know that it was incredibly wonderful circle to just land in our bodies and learn new practices. And that we have another circle coming up this coming month with Antoinette Cooper, who has joined us in Connect sessions and is just a beautiful writer and poet, and will be sharing with us in that circle. So, yeah, it's good to be back together, and we'll continue to do as many connects as we can, and be together in the circles as well. So, I see us coming in from, it looks like, mainly US today. I know we've had some international joiners in the past. I see Bloomfield, Connecticut, Winchester, Massachusetts. Oh, I see Toronto. Okay, so Canada and Orange County, California, and Tampa Bay, Florida, and Chicago. Wonderful. And I am calling in from New York. I know there are a couple of us here from New York as well. So a warm welcome, or some of us are in some cold places. So uh, hopefully warm you up. Welcome. Um, and hope everyone is landing in 2024 in a way that is right for you and maybe grounded and in your place. So maybe to help us do that, we can do a little landing practice together. We do, as you all know, tiny practices just to allow us to land in the space together. So we'll do a couple of tiny practices today, and then we will move into our breakout groups and just connect with each other. That is always the most fun. And so let's start with a tiny practice of just stillness. So just landing here together in the space and maybe taking a deep breath, feeling the breath moving in through the nostrils. And just feeling the air moving in the body and exhaling out. Perhaps just feeling a sense of alignment, feeling the shoulders over the hips, maybe feeling a sense of lengthening of the spine, almost as if somebody's pulling a string up from the back of your head, up the spine. And then rooting down with the hands on the thighs, perhaps just pushing down a little bit, or the feet into the earth. And just feeling what it feels like to be in a body today, to be here in this place, wherever you may be, just tuning in for a moment to the little place that you're in and a bigger sense of place of planet Earth and everything in between. Just allowing all of what is to be here as you continue to follow the breath. And I'll just allow us to have a moment of stillness, just focusing on the inhale and the exhale. And I'll let you know when it's time to reconnect with our screen. But for now, just inhaling and exhaling and just focusing on this interior place. And before we reconnect with the screen, just staying in this interior place and doing a little check-in, just take it a little bit deeper. Just checking in with our physical body. How is my physical body today? I'm just noticing if there's any aches and pains or if there's movement, just connecting in with what is there for you. If there are places that feel more stuck or contracted, just noticing what's there, being with what is in the body. Noticing if it feels tight or flowing. When you breathe in, when you breathe out, does the breath move all the way in? Are there places where it feels like it just can't go right now? And as you breathe out, just allowing anything that is not needed, anything that no longer is serving you in this moment, just letting it all be expelled, it all to come out, exhaling out completely. And then checking in with the mind, just noticing, is there a lot of chatter? Is there a lot of thought coming in? Or is it relatively calm, peaceful, stable? Neither being good or bad, just noticing again what is. Am I filled with the shopping list or somebody else's drama? Or am I here now with my own breath, my own life, my own life force? Again, all of it being good or bad, neither being good or bad, just all of it being exactly what is. And then connecting with your emotional body, just noticing, perhaps even you can feel it in the space around the heart. Just noticing, how is my heart today? Is there a particular feeling, emotion? It doesn't need to be explained with words, just noticing again what's there. Over the weekend, I had just sad come in, and that was it. That's what's there. When the sun comes out, I happen to have a lot of joy. So wherever you may be, just noticing what is. And then just bringing your awareness to your intention for today. What brought you here? What brought you to this group, to this connection? And just considering for a moment, and maybe it's a word or phrase that just pops up from within, just noticing whatever it may be. Often there's a little longing or yearning that brings us into connection. So just allowing that to be there for a moment. And when you're ready, you can reconnect with the screen and the Zoom, and you could type into the chat a little note on what brought you here today. What brought you to our Women Together Connect space and to our connection with each other. And I'll just read a few of them out after they come in, so we can get a shared little collective intention setting here. what brought you here today? I see that this is a reunion of our Tuesday group, and there's a glad to be back. So wonderful to have that. And the beautiful women who put a smile on my face and in my heart. That's lovely. Renewal of spirit and laughter. It's a good one. And then being with authentic women, reconnecting with wonderful women. Wonderful. Good. A chance to connect, to show off my head to toe EF garb. That's always fun. Good. So, love this just little reconnect with each other and connection to what brought us here. And I think this idea of authenticity and renewal and just having a chance to connect, for me, it's about just coming back into the space and feeling a moment of being able to slow down. You know, we had the holiday times, we had the entrance into January, and I feel like this whole month has been just one thing after the other. And I think, you know, after you come back from holidays, there's movement to go into other planning and routine and, you know, different ways of operating. So wherever you may be in that, I hope that this is a moment to just slow down and reconnect with what's important and just be fully here. Because often, you know, I'm here, but I'm actually 7 steps into the next thing. So to just be fully here with ourselves and with each other, really lovely. So if you have a journal, we'll just do a little journal practice and then we'll go into our breakouts and connect. And I'll give you a moment to do that. Just grab a journal and a pen. And the key to journaling as a reminder is to just keep the pen to paper. One of my teachers and friends, Aldo Sharmer, colleague, he he says that, and every time people are like, ah, you know, it's like it's a little thing, just keeping the pen on the paper and allowing the hand to do the work. We often want to think about what I want to say, what it is, but the coming back into connection with ourselves and with authenticity is just allowing the hand to do what it does, and to tell us what's going on. So, um, what I'd love to do is just start jotting down when you're ready. Hopefully, me talking gave you a moment to grab your paper and pen. And just jotting down for a moment, coming into this year, we're now at the end of January, and just coming into this year, what has already given you a challenge, maybe threw a wrench in your brand spanking new year? What challenges have you already had to face in these last few weeks? So just jotting down what has been a challenge for you. Maybe it's something like staying in my own body, or there's some bigger, you know, life challenges that have been thrown your way. But just being with whatever challenge may have been coming up for you. And then thinking about what has been energizing for you? What has been, for some of us in the northern hemisphere, northern part of the country, we've been experiencing this kind of deep cold and the darkness of winter. And within that, what has been giving you light? What has been giving you excitement and energy and a feeling of vitality or ready to get up and greet the day because, and just jot down what comes up for you. What has been giving me energy? And it could be that something is frustrating you enough to give you energy. So that's also a real thing. But just noticing what's giving you energy, what's pushing you into the next thing. And then just tuning into the little seeds of possibility. There's always something percolating. One of the ways that we think about the future is often something out there. And the reality is there are always seeds of the future that are already here. And it's the question of what do we nurture? What do we allow to grow? So, what have you already been seeing in the last few weeks that are seeds of the future? What have you been seeing or sensing in the last few weeks that are seeds that, if they were nourished, would be able to grow? Perhaps there's a new relationship or friendships, things like that, or you learned a new card game. I don't know. Could be quite small, could be quite big. Just noticing what are the seeds of possibility that are already here. And then today, just doing a little check in around the heart that we did earlier. What is it that you love right now? What is it that you feel in your life is really just giving you a sense of care and nourishment? Um, for me, I've been cooking again. It's little things, but what is it that's giving you a sense of fullness of the heart? And then the last thing is, what would you need to let go of? Sometimes we need to let go of something and learn something. So, what would you need to let go of now that would allow you to be more with the things that bring you nourishment and vitality and nurture the seeds of the future? What would you need to let go of? Or maybe there's something that you're needing to learn now. All right. And when you're ready, when you've finished, you can look up and share a little smile or a little just sending some of your heart energy out to each other. It's always a lovely gesture to connect. And for those of us on YouTube, I'm sending that to you. Um, and yeah, I'm curious what came up, but perhaps we move into breakouts to share with each other. It's always lovely to just reconnect. And you don't need to share exactly from what you journaled, but just sharing a little bit of a heart-centered hello, appreciation, connection with each other. And a reminder, just because we haven't been together in a little while, we don't always know, we often don't know anything about what the other person is going through, what their morning has been like, what they had for breakfast, let alone their relationship with their mother or their children or whatever else. So just having a lot of compassion for, who we end up in a room with. We can share a name, where we're coming from, and anything that's on your heart today. It's just a heart check-in. So anything that's on your heart that you want to share. If you do want to share something that came up in the journaling, feel free. And if you don't, that's also totally fine. And we're not sharing, whole life history or all of the aches and pains that we have today. Um, it's something that's sort of beyond the, hey, how are you? I'm great, thanks, and some more a little bit deeper than the perfunctory kind of greetings, and not necessarily expecting a therapy session from our friends here. So just sharing with each other, connecting, and we'll give you about 20 minutes for that, and then um, we'll have time here in Zoom for a continued dialogue at the end. If you're here with us on YouTube, thank you so much for joining. I hope you enjoyed the practice, and we will be reconnecting with the circles with Antoinette Cooper soon. So check out the womentogether.com site. And for those of us here in the Zoom, enjoy your time together in breakouts, and we will see you back in about 20 minutes.